Hi, this is Nick Fradiani, and this is Spilling the Tea with iHeartRadio Broadway.
iHeartRadio Broadway, driven by Mercedes-Benz.
My ultimate all-time favorite show on Broadway is Phantom of the Opera. My father used to play me the soundtrack when I was little, and when I was 3 or 4 years old, I used to scream and cry when I would hear it because it's so intense, you know. But as I got older, I could listen to the soundtrack a billion times. It was the first musical I ever saw, and I got to see it again right before it closed. So it's Phantom. All right, the second Broadway show I ever saw was Wicked when I was in junior in high school. And I hadn't been to a musical since my first one, and they finished Act 1, and it was like the most epic thing I ever saw, and I said, wow, that was a great show. And they're like, there's 2 acts, man. And and that's when I was like, I need to learn more about musical theater. Right now, I want to see Sweeney before Josh Groban leaves, so I'm hoping I could get a look at that. And also, I want to see Harmony. I was sick when they opened, so I wasn't able to go to opening night, so I'm hoping to also see Harmony. The best piece of advice I've been given during my career is to just never give up. I know that sounds cliche, but if you never quit, I do feel like if you work hard enough, you will have some sort of success. It might not be what you initially thought out it was, but best advice is to not give up. My favorite moment in A Beautiful Noise has changed a lot. You know, I've been doing the show for a while now, but now that I'm doing it every single day, it seems to change a lot. But for some reason, the ending when we get to sing Holly Holy, for some reason I always look forward to that moment. We're all together on stage, and it's very, we're looking at each other and just having fun for our kind of, we just worked hard for 2.5 hours, and it's just like a great moment. The biggest difference I'd say between doing a jukebox musical and playing Neil Diamond, or when I played Lorenzo in A Bronx Tale, is the audience in A Beautiful Noise plays a significant role, I feel like, in our show. I feel the energy from them. At many times when I'm performing as Neil, they are the audience in a concert at a Neil Diamond show, so they're truly being involved, and so we feed so much off them. As to when I was doing A Bronx Tale, if there was 10 people out there or 3,000, I didn't really ever know or care, really. I was with the people on stage, and of course there's many moments like that in Beautiful Noise, but the audience is almost like another character in our show. So the difference between being a standby and going forward to taking over the role was just, it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of rest, and you kind of have to say no to a lot of things outside of the theater, and just kind of keep yourself healthy. So that's been the big difference. My favorite American Idol memory is probably when we went on tour together. The top 5, we all went on a national tour afterwards, and it was most of our first time ever going on like an official tour with a tour bus, and we had just been together for a year, and then to kind of travel the country and perform to all these people that had watched us on TV was pretty awesome. We had a great fan encounter recently. We had a girl, Brielle, who's 6 years old and has seen A Beautiful Noise 16 times, and we brought her up on stage, and she sang Sweet Caroline with us, and there's a video of it up on A Beautiful Noise's Instagram, and it's just like the cutest thing, and I found that to be one of the best fan interactions I've had. My dream role, well, I guess one way I look at it is like I've always wanted to originate a role. That's kind of like my next goal, is I really want to kind of get something from the beginning and see it through. So I guess it hasn't been written yet, I'm hoping, or it is written and I just haven't read it. But like I said, I've actually recently, I am a pop singer, and that's where I started. And but I've been working with my vocal coach on some more, theater roles, and Phantom of the Opera was some songs I was singing. So that would be pretty amazing if it ever comes back, to being able to play the Phantom one day. If I had to sing one song the rest of my life, what would it be? My band wrote a song called Coming Your Way. My band was Beach Avenue. We have not been a band in like 8 years, but we were on America's Got Talent. That's what I did before Idol, and we had this song Coming Your Way. We performed it on America's Got Talent, and it's just one of my favorite songs, and it reminds me of my good younger years with my bandmates and best friends, so I'd say I would sing Coming Your Way for the rest of my life. Favorite Cast album to listen to on repeat? I I had a Hades Town. Like I used to listen to that album all the time. Hades Town's up there, and I'm sorry, me and my girlfriend will put Wicked on and just go like we've had many a car rides where we're just screaming the words to Wicked. So Wicked's up there as well. My favorite musical artist to listen to on repeat, this one's really difficult for me. If I had to pick one band or person to listen to the rest of my life, it would be the Beatles. My father would kill me if I said anything differently. So Beatles is number one. And I think over the years now, Neil has also bumped up real high. So it's between the Beatles and Neil Diamond.
iHeartRadio Broadway, driven by Mercedes-Benz.